Hello and welcome everyone to another edition of The Complete Works. I am your host, Doug Hess, and as we do each week, we are looking at a particular film from an actor, actress, producer, composer, and we're looking at the history of a film of one of those. And right now we're in the episodes, or in the process, of going through the Nicolas Cage series or history of films. And this week is no exception. This week is Teen Titans Go to the movies, which was released in 2018. And so we're going to be looking at that movie review today in terms of that. If you'd like to find out more information about the Complete Works podcast, you can go to film-book.com. Again, that's film-book.com by using the search term The Complete Works. You can also email us at podcast@film-book.com. Again, that's podcast@film-book.com with Complete Works in the subject line. You can also put in Teen Titans Go to the movies if you want to reference this particular episode of the Complete Works. If you like what you hear on the podcast, please hit the subscription button so that can be sent to you every week when we release a new podcast. As we do every week when we're reviewing a film, the setup here is to first talk a little bit about the trivia, then we're going to jump into the plot, talk a little bit about the film itself, and then finally I like to wrap it up with my thoughts and reviews on the particular film. And this week we're looking at Teen Titans Go to the movies, again, that was released in 2018. Now this is a little different take with Nicolas Cage. Typically we're looking at a film where the particular actor, in this case Nicolas film, is acting, but in this case this is an animation. A Teen Titans Go to the movies. It's an animation film that we're going to be looking at. I thought it was a kind of a fun film, and it also was a little bit different than what we normally do every week. Teen Titans Go to the movies was directed by Aaron Hort-Vant and Peter Mitchell. Some of the writing credits is Aaron Hort-Vant, Jerry Siegel, Mark Wolfman, Bob Kane, William Martian was also part of the writing credits. There were several different individuals that were getting credit on this particular animation or film that we're talking about. Some of the cast that's in there, Greg Sipes is the voice of Beast Boy. Scott Menville is Robin. Karen Payton is Cyborg. Tara Strong is Raven. Will Arnett is Slade. Kristen Bell is Jade Wilson. Michael Bolton is Tiger. Nicolas Cage is the voice of Superman. So just kind of a little bit of some of the different individuals that voices that you might hear or recognize in this particular film that we're talking about. So let's go ahead and look at some of the trivia. I know over the last couple episodes there hasn't been a lot of trivia when it comes to some of these films, but this one has quite a little trivia. We'll try to hit as many as we can in here. I think it's always just a little fun fact when talking about these films. So in this comic, Slade's supervillain name is Deathstroke. His name has never been used in a Teen Titans cartoon because it's decided that using the term death being associated with the character as part of a children's cartoon is kind of a no-no. And so they've considered that something that they didn't want, so they've took that out. However, he was referenced as Deathstroke in the Lego DC comic superhero The Flash in 2018. It was an animated movie, marked to children as well, which was released a few months before Teen Titans Go to the movies. So just kind of like I said, a little fun fact there. The montage of flipping comic pages from the new Teen Titans comic, which was the first one, November of 1980, appears at the beginning of the film. This is also a reference to the Marvel Studios flipping comic pages logo that we see. The Challengers of the Unknown is a team of DC comic characters created by Marvel Comics co-creator Jack Kirby in 1957. The basic premise of the series as a team of explorers of aliens and unusual who felt they were living on borrowed time after mysteriously surviving a plane crash. Uh, this predates the later Marvel Comics creation, the Fantastic Four, also created by Kirby as well as Stan Lee in many respects. Nicolas Cage, as we mentioned, was cast as Superman. He is the voice of Superman in Teen Titans Go to the Movies, but he was also cast as Superman in Superman Lives before the project was canceled. The film is being released in July of 2018, which marked the 15th anniversary of the original Teen Titans series, which debuted in 2003. Kara Payton is listed among the contacts in Cyborg's phone. That's the name of the actor who is a voice of Cyborg. The song played in the first fight with Blue Man is a variation of the original Teen Titans 2003 theme. The first Teen Titans series to get its own big screen feature. No, Gor-El in this film is based on Marlon Brando as Gor-El in Superman, the 1978 version starring Christopher Reeve as Superman. And when Robin and Jade are sitting on a bench in the park on the tree, on the right side it says Sam was here, and this is a reference to the executive producer Sam Register. When the Titans travel back to the past, there is a scene of four turtles slowly walking to a broken vial of chemical liquid. This is a reference to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. After discovering the Doomsday's device, Robin scolds his team about how they're treating Superman, saying that he's a natural treasure. Well, as I mentioned, Nicolas Cage is the voice of Superman, and it is well known that he is from his popular movie National Treasure and National Treasure 2. So that's kind of a little reference to him in the movie. James Corden was initially cast as Balloon Man, however, for some reason unknown that we don't know, he was replaced by Greg Davis. And at one point, Superman says, "Somebody save me." This marks a reference to the TV show Smallville about a teenage Superman and its theme song, "Save Me" by Remo Zero, in terms of that. So, some interesting trivia there. A couple more things here. The Warren Animation Group's first and only traditional animation film. Starfire is the only Titan who does not refer to Slade as Deadpool. Aquaman is the only DC Universe character to appear in this film voiced by a straight-up voice actor. Everybody else is celebrities, if you will. Patton Oswalt's first animated film since Pixar's Ratatouille in 2007, which also starred Will Arnett. Both are in this film here. This is Nicolas Cage's fifth animated film after The Ant Bully, 2006, Astro Boy, 2009, G-Force, 2009, and The Croods, 2013. Let's see, we'll get some others here. This is the first movie based on Teen Titans to not have any previous theatrical animated films in the franchise. And this is the fourth and final theatrical released, hand-drawn animated movie released in the 2010s after My Little Pony, the movie, 2017, which also featured Tara Strong. The SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, 2015, and Winnie the Pooh, 2011. So a couple quick trivia notes that I thought was kind of fun regarding the Teen Titans movie. Now let's look at the box office. From what I could find, it looked like it had a budget approximately about $10 million. That's kind of estimated. The opening weekend, it made basically all that up here in the United States, which for the weekend of July 29, 2018, it had a gross opening of $10,411,189. Gross in the U.S. was almost $30 million at $29,790,236, but a cumulative worldwide gross at was a little over 52 at $52 million. So for a $10 million estimated budget, it did its job and recouped that back. The runtime is approximately 84 minutes. It was released in the theaters on July 27th, 2018 worldwide, and you could have started seeing it on disc or in streaming October 31st, 2018. And again, we want to talk about the Warner Brothers Animation, DC Entertainment, were some of the companies with credits in terms of that. So let's turn our attention now, after looking at the trivia and box office success. Let's look at the plot when it comes to Teen Titans Go to the movies, or in the movies, I should say, or to the movies. That was right. Sorry about that. The plot we have in Jump City, the Teen Titans arrive to stop Balloon Man, and when he fails to recognize them, the Teen Titans then jump into a rap song to introduce themselves, Go, which then becomes a distraction, forcing the Justice League heroes, Superman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman, then to jump into action to intervene. They then criticize the Titans for their childlessness, their foolishness, their inability to take position as superheroes very seriously, and while raising the fact that they do not have a feature-length film to prove their legitimacy as superheroes. In terms of that, so that's how we start the film. So while at the premiere of The Batman Again, Robin is mocked by the audience after a misunderstanding leads him to assume that there would be a film about him. At the rest of the team's suggestion, Robin resolves that in order to get a film made about him and the Titans, they need to be arch nemesis. Nearby, Slade breaks into Star Lab to steal a crystal, and the Titans arrive and attempt to stop him, but he swiftly defeats them, and then again, he also insults them in the process. So the very next day, Beast Boy, Starfire, Cybrung, and Raven create a film to cheer up Robin, but it turns it off prematurely and declares that they will go to Hollywood to have a film made about them, which is an upbeat, inspirational song about life, jumps in there. Upon arriving at Warner Brothers Studios, they encounter director Jade Wilson, who is responsible for all the superhero films being made. She turns down the Titans' request to be in a film, My Superhero Movie, explaining that the only way that she would make one about them if they were the only superheroes in the world. They have to be the only ones left in the world before she's going to make a film about them. The Titans take her word literally and go back in time to prevent the origins of other superheroes. So you hear crystals and back in time music, but this only ends up running the present, running the present, forcing the Titans to go back in time again to undo all their blunders and mistakes. As you can imagine, when you go back in time, it's going to affect and alter the future. And the Teen Titans don't understand that. So they have to go back in time once again to get that resolved. Slade next arrives in Wayne Tech to infuse the crystal power, and the Titans arrive to stop him, this time putting up an actual fight. They secure the crystal, but Slade escapes, resolving to split Robin from his teammates in the process. So again, the next day, we see Jade invites the Titans back to Hollywood and announced that she would make a movie about them due to their fight with Slade. While Robin is getting the tour of their premises, Raven, Beast Boy, Starfire venture out and cause mischief. They find a device labeled Doomsday, and they try to destroy it, but Jade arrives and explains that Doomsday is an acronym for a new streaming service for the new movie she is making. She resolves to drop the rest of the Titans from the film and make it solely about Robin, which he happily accepts, obviously, as we referred to back at the beginning of the film. Much of the consideration of the team, who wish him very, very much luck, Robin finishes making the movie. During the scenes, shot of a location inside Titan's tower. Jade reveals that she is Slade in disguise. He steals the crystals back and tells Robin that he is making so many superhero movies was a plan to keep all the heroes busy while he invades their city to build a doomsday, a device that can be control minds and allow him to conquer the world. He then destroys the entire Titan's tower, but Robin safely manages to escape the exploding building. In the aftermath of the wreckage, Robin calls for his friends and apologizes to them, who then makes peace with them in the process. At the premiere of the movie Robin, the movie, excuse me, the Titans arrive and unmask Slade, but Slade unleashes the crystal power. Excuse me about that. Unleashes the crystal power to control the other superheroes and sends them after the Titans. Robin goes after Slade while the rest of the team hands off to the superheroes. Excuse me about that. Sorry about that. Little interruption. So as you can imagine, the rest of the film, they find themselves back with making sure that Slade is captured, and we go back to having peace in the Teen Titans world in terms of that. So overall, I thought the film was a fun movie. I have to be honest with you, I'm not much into animation, but I would say that overall, that scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, that I would give it an 8, just because I thought it was kind of a fun movie. Nicolas Cage did a good job playing Superman with his voice. Obviously, he was reading the script that was provided to him. So overall, I say that I believe that he did a wonderful job, did a good job. Again, I'm not a big animation fan. Nothing against it. There's nothing wrong with it. This is really marketed to kids, but overall, I thought it was just a fun film. And the other thing is, from doing some of the research that I've done, the nice thing is that this movie really stayed true as much as it could to the original series of the Teen Titans. So overall, I thought it was a fun little film or animation. And like I said, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. So, excuse me, in terms of that. So, I want to thank you for listening to The Complete Works. You can find more of my work on film-book.com. Again, that's film-book.com. You can search for Doug Hess or The Complete Works. You can find me on Twitter at HessDoug14. Again, that's HessDoug14. If you've listened to this podcast on iTunes or another podcast service, please rate and review the episode. If you're listening to the podcast on our YouTube channel, FilmBook Podcast, please like our video, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment in the comment section. Tune in next time when I review and analyze the next Nicolas Cage film. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you then. Thanks.